everyone, I am Mecha Random 42, and you guys remember how in Star Trek Discovery Season 1, how we had basically the first regular reoccurring gay couple on the series, on any Star Trek series, where they're an actual, reoccurring couple on the show as regular cast members? And you remember how they disappointed everybody by not really doing anything with them other than killing one of them? Well, we have an article to cover today on that subject, and, let's just get right into it from comicbook.com. Star Trek Discovery stars defend the controversial death. This is by Jamie Lovett again. No shortage of awesome content about Star Trek Discovery. Also, yes, I do have my ad block on when I record these, because, you guys might not want to see the stuff I'm shopping for. It might be porn. Anyway, Star Trek Discovery broke new ground from the Star Trek franchise by introducing the franchise's first gay couple, which isn't true, but, reoccurring. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. Lieutenant Paul Stamets, played by Anthony Rapp, and Dr. Hugh Culber by Wilson Cruz. Discovery also courted controversy by having Culber brutally murdered. Ash Tyler, played by Shazad Latif, snapped Culber's neck as the memories of his true life as the Klingon Vok began to emerge. Discovery was accused of falling into the bury your gays trope, where the gay couples aren't allowed to live happily ever after and must come to some tragic end. But speaking to Attitude, Rapp and Cruz say this isn't the end of Stamets and Culber. So spoilers, in case anybody doesn't want season 2 spoilers. At the end, and all that brutal moment from season 1 is just one necessary stop on their journey. Yeah, still, still, it's kind of crappy to murder one of your gay characters. I'm sorry, it's just crappy. I can promise you that he really did have to go through that in order for us to tell the story we're about to tell you, Cruz said. We don't dismiss it, we don't act as if it didn't happen. We extrapolate it in a very real way, we extend the story, and there are consequences. There's a price to pay, but it's a really exciting way of learning about this character. Honestly, after doing it, I feel like we couldn't have given a more satisfying answer to the question. Cruz also wants to ensure fans that the level of representation established on the show's first season will be maintained in the second season. Which, you guys have heard, you guys have heard my rants on this a million times over. Here, let me interrupt the article here. To recap, if you guys are brand new to the channel, you will never have 100% representation ever. Representation is kind of a myth that people use to feel good about their own choices in life, or their own their own way of being in life, and whether or not people argue, homosexuality is a choice or it's something you're born with, that's beside the point. I'm talking about I'm talking about any sort of representation. I will never have anybody who looks exactly like me, who's exactly my age, with exactly my beliefs. Representation is a myth. There will never be a 39-year-old bisexual woman with bright red hair represented on Star Trek: The Next Generation who does YouTube vlogging for a living, right? That won't happen. We're not going to have that sort of representation in any way, shape, or form. You find representation in people you can relate to and identify with, or aspire to become, or aspire not to become, in the case of a lot of the characters on Discovery. So this whole representation crap is total myth bullshit, designed to separate us, when what we should really be doing is saying, what can I identify with in somebody who may not look like me, or may not have the same sexual orientation that I do, or the same gender that I do? What can I do to bring us together? So fuck your bullshit representation. Back to the article. All right, that's the moving thing to me. The fact that there is a young person who identifies as LGBT is a person of color can turn onto the TV and see someone they can relate to. All right, Wilson Cruz, I watched you on My So-Called Life when I was 14. I enjoyed your character on My So-Called Life. You were the gay character on My So-Called Life. It is fine to have people look up to, and like I said, again, you will never have 100% representation. If somebody needs to look at somebody on TV, a fictional character, and say, I can identify with them, I am okay being a gay person because there's a gay person on TV. That is the problem that we have here. All right, not the fact that they are gay, but they have to look at, the fact The fact that they have to look at TV and say, because this person is here, I'm accepted. That's a bigger problem with society right now. We went through the same shit in the 60s when Whoopi Goldberg looked at Uhura and she went running to her mother saying, Mama, there's a black lady on TV and she ain't no maid, okay? And I'm paraphrasing Whoopi Goldberg a little bit. I don't know what exact verbiage she used. But seriously, this is a greater problem in society, that we have so many things that are separating us. Oh, Lord. It's going to take me a while to get through this article. He said, I remember growing up and not seeing anyone who reflected my life back to me. The fact that I can be that for someone doesn't feel like I'm doing something frivolous with my life. I talk to my parents and be like, you know what? I helped affect somebody's life. Are you ready for Star Trek Discovery Season 2? What do you think is next for Stamets and Culber? Let us know in the comments. Well, I'll tell you guys right now what I think for Stamets and Culber. I think that was such a missed opportunity to see how any sort of couple gets along and works on a ship where you're working really close together with a lot of other crew members. Would they say, hey, we're in a relationship? I mean, obviously they live together, so they knew, like the ship knew. Captain Lorca probably knew. And it doesn't matter if they're a straight couple or a gay couple. This is something we really haven't had in Star Trek. And it was such a huge missed opportunity. I was so looking forward to seeing what they were going to do in this day and age when it's not even supposed to be controversial to have a gay couple on TV. And we're back in like the Stone Ages again, in this sort of separatist, crazy, I can only identify with somebody if they look like me bullshit. It is so frustrating to me to still have this discussion in this day. We haven't really progressed since the 60s, in my opinion, that much with this sort of false representation bullshit. We got a little better, I guess we got a little better in the 80s, but now we're right back down again. It's the politically correct nonsense of I'm offended by everything. The kind of snowflake mentality of I need representation. If I don't see this person, then I'm not going to watch your show. If you have a problem with the show, then you're a racist. Like, no. I have a problem with the bad writing of the show. I have a problem with the plot holes and the plot twists I can see a mile away. I have a problem with having a main character on Star Trek that's supposed to be an ensemble cast, right? Because these sort of series don't really work well. You have more than one person that runs a starship, obviously. So these are the things that, in this day and age, I am tired of. I am goddamn tired of it. I would yell and rant and rave. And, and I guess I have to justify myself and say, yes, I am a bisexual woman. I grew up in about the same time that Wilson Cruz grew up. Okay, I grew up then. I'm about their age. I saw Anthony Rapp on Adventures in Babysitting. I got it on my shelf, right? I watched Wilson Cruz on My So-Called Life as a teenager when I was, about their age on the series. I can relate to this stuff, okay? We were doing so well for a while as a species. It looked like we were coming out of this, and then the politically correct nonsense knocked us back again. The fact that we can't say anything without people being offended. The fact that nobody can take a joke. The fact that everybody is offended by something and needs 100% representation. This is the problem that we have as a society. And Star Trek is a bigger picture of it. Star Trek should be beyond this crap. Star Trek should not be out there promoting stuff like that. They shouldn't allow articles like this to be written. And nothing against the article writer or comicbook.com for it. Nothing against you personally. I know you probably have a pile of like deadlines on your desk for every time you log into your computer. But yeah, for Star Trek to perpetuate this shit, it is so beyond whack, I guess, is the only way I can think about it. Star Trek used to actually be progressive instead of needing to virtue signal for brownie points, for clicks, for woke points, for thumbs up and hearts and likes and crap like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I completely off the mark on this one? Do you guys really, really want representation in this way, or do you find it to be just tokenism? And like you're not doing us any favors, because I as a bisexual woman, having token gays on a show doesn't do me any favors. And until I see some actual satisfying conclusion to this, I'm gonna kind of call bullshit on it and say, oh, you killed the gay character. They probably didn't even realize it when they wrote him out of the show. They probably completely forgot that he was the boyfriend of Stamets, or husband, or whatever. they probably didn't even intentionally kill him as the gay character, but as just, that's the character that needs to die to progress the plot to this point. I'm sure they didn't even like think of it in any sort of way, shape, or form. And my theory is with Star Trek Discovery going forward, there was like one time when the mycelial network or the spores or something, like there was like, I think when they came back and there was like a dot that landed on Tilly's shoulder. I think that this might be something related to that. And of course, in the Star Trek Discovery Season 2 trailer that dropped at Comic-Con recently, there was a shot of Stamets holding basically a Ghostbusters looking device where he pointed it at Tilly and he extracted something from her, and it like went flying across the room. Is this a way of bringing back Dr. Culber as kind of coming back through the spore and then growing and on all these, like, is that what they're going to be doing? Is that really what they're going to be doing? Because we know that Dr. Culber existed in the mycelial network. We know Stamets is connected to the mycelial network. I don't think they're going to be getting away from it so soon, because they're kind of in a rock and a hard place, because on the one hand, they can't really do anything with the tardigrade because of the lawsuit, and on the other hand, they can't leave Dr. Culber out of this without being called, being called, God, what's the term? Whatever term it is when they kill off a token gay character, like. So I think they're in a rock and a hard place with this one. It's kind of hysterical seeing them backpedal so much as well, Just look at any of my other videos on Star Trek Discovery, how they lied about things. But yeah, what do you guys think? Tell me what you think in the comments section below. I am MechaRandom42. Wow, this is a funny one. Also, I have Twitter, I have Patreon. I do a lot of Star Trek videos. I've been reviewing Doctor Who lately and Star Wars stuff here and there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next episode or live stream. Bye!